Hello everyone, hope you are all fine. It's me Vineet and welcome to my YouTube channel Pie2Pay. In this video, we are going to see a question that was asked in Mindtree today, that is on 25th May 2021 at around 4 p.m. I think. They only allowed three languages to solve this question. They are C, C++ and Java. But I will explain this code in Python now because I was doing a coding preparation series, and in the last video I have explained the slicing operation. So for that concept, this question is the best example. Before going to solve this question, if you guys haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please subscribe, like, and if you like the video, please share with your friends. So without any further delay, let's get into the question. There are n floating blocks in a pond. Oh wait, I will zoom in. Okay, I think this is visible for you guys. I will read the question here. There are n floating blocks in a pond and they are arranged in a straight line. Each of these blocks has a value associated with them which is written on top of them. After every 1 minute, blocks at the odd position get submerged underwater. You must shift the remaining blocks to one position left to fill in the emptied space. This process is repeated till only one block is left floating. So they have asked there are n floating blocks. They have given a n number of values and they are in ponds. At each and every minute, the blocks at the odd position get submerged. We have to remove the elements that are at odd position each and every iteration, and you have to do this until there is only one block left floating. So you have given a n number of list values and you need to eliminate the values that are present at odd position until there is only one block left floating. There is only one block left in a list. Until then you need to do this process, or you must return the value of the last block which is left floating. Note, the position index starts with 1 and blocks are numbered from 1 to n in the left to right direction. It is given that n is always greater than 1. This was a note to include that index value starts from 1, not from 0. You need to keep a note on this. They have given a function description. You need to return a function must return an integer denoting the value of last block which is left floating, and the input should be n. So let's see an input format for this question. Okay. Over here is the input and output constraint for this question. The n should be greater than 1 and it should be lesser than or equal to 10 power 5. You also need to take care of time complexity. The first line contains an integer n denoting the number of blocks floating in a pond initially. They have given a n number of elements, that is blocks floating in a pond. Here is the sample input and output test case. They have given a 4 as input and it's showing 4 as output. Here is the output description. Initially there are 1, 2, 3 and 4 number blocks are in the ponds. After deleting the blocks at odd position, 2 and 4 are remaining. Blocks at odd positions. 4 remains, so the output is 4. Here some part of the question is missing. So I will take this question and I will explain here in words so that you can understand well. So they are going to give an input that is n. So here the input is 4. So the output also it's showing 4. So when I enter an input that is n as 4, then I should be having 4 elements in a list that is starting from 1. So if I enter 5, then I should be having 5 elements. So on each and every minute, the element present at the odd position is going to be submerged into the water. So here the elements present at the odd position are 1 and 3. When the element present at the odd position are submerged into the pond, so the remaining element floating in the pond are 2 and 4. So now the element present at the odd position is 2. So then 2 is going to be submerged into the water. So here this is the first minute and this is the second minute. During the first minute, the element present at odd position, that is 1 and 3, are going to be submerged. So during the second minute, the element present at the odd position here, that is 2, going to be submerged, and the only element left in the list is 4. So that's why 4 is printing here. This question can be easily solved using slicing method. If you guys haven't watched the slicing video yet, please watch the slicing video. I have given the link in the description below. So after that only you start watching from here. So I will explain how to solve this question. So first I need to add values to the list. That is I have taken example as 4 and I am adding 1 2 3 4 to the list. During the first iteration I need to remove 1 and 3. So you can see I only need 2 and 4, that is the values presented first index and at third index. So how can I slice that? So I have already explained that in a previous video. So if I enter the starting value as 1 and this will go until the end of the list, and I will add step as 2. So what this line of code is going to do, this line of code is going to get me the values present at the odd even position, that is 2 and 4 in this case. So this operation to be continued until there is only one element present at the list. So let's see how to do this in code here. Okay, first I will get the input from an user, that is an integer value. So after this I need to add element to a list. So how can I do that? I have introducing a new method to add an elements to list here, that is I for I in range of 1 to n plus 1. So I think those who are following my coding preparation series have not noticed this line of code until now. I will explain this line of code here. So if I enter n value as 4, so you already know what this for loop does. So this for loop will run from 1 to 5. If I give 4, this for loop will run from 1 to 5. So the I value which is coming out of for loop in each and every iteration, that means that during the first iteration I value will be 1, so I am adding that I value to this list. In the second iteration I value will be 2 and I am adding that I value to this list. So after this for loop end, I will be left with 1 2 3 and 4 inside this list. So this is how this line of code is working. So after this I am including one while loop here, that is while true. So what is this while true? If I include if and else condition here, so until the if condition passes, this while loop will keep on running. So whenever you don't know how many times the iteration is going to be, then it's better to use while true. So here I am giving if length of li, so that is the length of element present in the list become 1, then print the element present at the list. Okay, then break the if condition. So here is the if condition. So I have given length of list is equal to 1. Why I have taken this condition? They have clearly mentioned here. So the function must return an integer denoting the value of the last block while left floating. So I want the last element which is present at the list. If a length of list is equal to 1, then I need to print the element present at the list. Okay, that's why I have taken this condition here. So in else condition I just need to slice the list li of 1 down to 2. So what I am performing here, so if until the length of list become 1, I need to slice the list as I explained before. I need to eliminate the odd index and I just need to get the elements present at the even index. So let's run the code and verify whether the code is working fine or not. Okay, I will give the same sample input and output they have given. So they have given 4 here, so let's give 4. It's printing 4, and again they have given 15, so for 15 it's printing 8. So let's verify that one also. Yeah, for 15 it's printing 8, so the code is working fine. I think you guys have understood the code. This was a easy code in Python. But in Mindtree they have asked to write the code in C, C++ and Java. I have just taken this code to explain how slicing impacts on coding. very well. So you can see this question was asked for 75 marks in Mindtree. So if they have included Python, then this was just a piece of cake for those who have learned Python. I think you guys have understood the explanation and the code I have written here. For those who are following my coding preparation series, these 2 lines of code are new for you guys. Don't worry, these 2 lines of code are very simple and very simple concept. That's it for this video. I will be back with another video. Until then, see you. Bye.